Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial on this channel. If you are new here, I am B and I create beginner friendly tutorial. So today we are going to learn how to make a fingerless glove. I use two types of yarn. I made one in chunky yarn and then another in a medium weight yarn, but for this tutorial I'm going to illustrate using a medium weight yarn. And since I've worked two types of yarn, I like both because the tension is kind of good. For the chunky yarn I use a 5.5 millimeter hook to create this one. Meanwhile, for this one where I use a medium weight yarn, I considered a 3 millimeter hook, but if you want your tensions to be a little bit loose, then I can recommend maybe a 3.5 millimeter hook. Is that okay? So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, especially if you are new here, trust me, you won't regret your time being on this channel. Or if you are a returning viewer, now is the time for you to subscribe and just stay here for good. Okay, so other things which you'll need for this tutorial is a stitch marker, a needle, scissor, and as I stated earlier, I'll be using a 3 millimeter hook. I usually have this to help with my tension because the yarn rubs my finger and sometimes it causes an irritation. That's why I use this to help me with tension. The pattern that I'm going to use will require us to work with multiples of 14, and I had to make a ribbing for this fingerless glove whereby I made 12 single crochets for my ribbing because of the hook size that I'm using. But if your hook size is a little bit bigger, you can maybe make 10. Okay, but I have 12 number of chains here plus 28 number of stitches because the pattern is a pattern of 14 stitches. To start, this is what you are going to do. You are going to make a chain which is a multiple of 14, okay, plus the ribbing, which is this one. I have 12 number of stitches here. We are going to make that chain first. This is how you wrap your yarn on your hook, like that, and then bring it, or depending on how you make a knot is fine by me. Then chain 12, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12, and then chain 14. I have 28 number of stitches here, so I'm going to chain 28 and meet you back here when I'm done changing 28 more, which means 28 plus 12, that is, those are 40. Catch you until then. Now I have 40 number of chains here plus 1. The 1 is a returning chain because we are starting this pattern with the ribbing and we are working single crochet for that ribbing. Now you are going to flip your chain like that, skip the first stitch and then go in the second one. Okay, you are going to go inside here and then make a single crochet. Okay, if you don't want to flip your chain, it's okay, you can just work single crochets in this stitch, but I have flipped mine. Now it will require you to work in these stitches which I am inserting my hook in. Okay, you will make 12 number of single crochets. I will meet you when I am done making my 12 number of single crochets. I have finished to make my 12 single crochets which is row 1 of the ribbon. So for the next part, we are now going to start working on this pattern. This pattern is going to involve single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and a triple crochet in that manner. So we will start with a single crochet. You are going to make 2 single crochet in separate stitches. Okay, this is 1, and then this is 2, like that. Then in the next stitch, you are going to make a half double crochet, and this is how you make a half double crochet. I'm using US terms, so if you are in UK, this is probably a treble crochet. So this is how I'm gonna do it. I've already made, let's see, 2 4 6 2 4 6 8 10 12 2. Yeah, so the next you are going to make a half double crochet by wrapping your yarn on your hook and then going in this stitch there, make 1 half double crochet and then the second half double crochet. Remember, you started with 2 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, and you are going to make 2 double crochets. This is 1 of 2, then this is 2 of 2. Next, you are going to make 3 treble crochets in the next 3 stitches, and this is how you make a treble crochet. You wrap your yarn on your hook twice, you'll have 3 loops on your hook, and then go in this next stitch here, pull out your yarn like that. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, pull through 2, you'll have 3 loops on your hook, pull through 2, again you'll have 2 loops on your hook, and then pull through all. That is the first one, and then we make 2 more, like that, and then the last one, like that. Okay, then we are now going to start decreasing in stitch. We will start with a double crochet. Okay, like we started with the single crochets, we went to half double crochet, to double crochet and treble crochet. Now we will go back to a double crochet. We are reducing, and you are going to make 2 double crochets. This is 1 of 2, this is 2 of 2, and then in the next stitch you are going to make 2 half double crochets. This is going to be 1 of 2, then this is 2 of 2, and then you will make 2 single crochets like that. Like that. Okay, so as you can see, it's creating this pattern here. Is like a wave. When you check it out here, it's like a wave. So this is basically a wave stitch. Okay, and as you progress in this pattern, this is how your work is going to look like. So if you are done with your 2 single crochets, we are again going to repeat what we have been doing. You will put 2 half double crochets here, 1 2, and then next is a double crochet, 1, and then 2 double crochets. Then the next is going to be 3 treble crochets in the next 3 stitches. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Then you start reducing, which is going to be a double crochet. After the treble crochet is always a double crochet. Okay, and then after double crochet is a half double crochet. So you are going to make 2 half double crochet. This is 1 of 2, this is 2 of 2, and then you end with 2 single crochets like that. Okay, so this is row 1. It's looking like it's not straight, but as you work it's going to eventually straighten out. So you started the pattern with 2 single crochets and have ended with 2 single crochets. For row 2 we are going to make half double crochets all through. You will chain 1, turn your work. Now to make half double crochets you are going to go in this first stitch because the chain one doesn't count as a stitch. So you wrap your yarn on your hook and go through all these stitches. Okay, instead of going in the back loop you will go through all, and you will repeat this for 28 times. When you are at the end of your 28th half double crochet you complete the row with single crochets because we have ribbons to work on here. I'll meet you when I'm at the end of this row. Okay, this is already 4 of 28. When you make your 28 half double crochets, or the number of stitches which you made for yourself, because our hands are different, and you can make a chain that fits very well for you, as I showed you people in the photos at the beginning of this tutorial. The length of this fingerless glove will depend on you. Like for this one, instead of making 12 single crochets here, I only had 5 single crochets for my ribbing, and then made 14 plus 7, that is like, I don't know, 14 plus 7, that is like 21. So I have 21 number of stitches here plus 5. Okay, which is why it looks like this. I didn't want something to be very long because I'm working with what suits me best. But if you want this to cover here, you're definitely going to make a longer chain. Okay, as you can see how the fitting of this is different from this other one, which is why I had to make 2 types for myself. All right, there are days when you are going to want it to cover almost your entire fingers. As you see, there's a total difference. It's not too much, but there's a slight difference in how this fits compared to this one, and I like them both. Let me do this. You see, almost the same. They're actually the same. The difference is just so small. You can see from here. Okay, this is a little bit high up here and this is just down here. So chain according to how long or short you want your fingerless glove to be. I'm going to meet you when I'm at the end of this row. I completed my second row and started on row 3. I have already made the 12 single crochets for my ribbing. Now for row 3 we are now going to start working in the back loop. Okay, remember in row 1 we started our pattern with 2 single crochets. Now we are going to work the opposite of that, because you want to create a wave where you had a single crochet will now be a higher stitch, and that is going to be the treble crochet. We made 2 single crochets at the beginning of row 1, and you are going to make 2 treble crochets and just let the pattern flow. Okay, where you made 3 treble crochets, we will instead put 3 single crochets. Is that right? Now this is what you're going to do. After making your 12 single crochets for the ribbing, you'll make a treble crochet in the next 2 stitches. This is 1 of 2. This is 2 of 2 in the back loops. Okay, Then proceed to make 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches, only in the back loop. And then 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. And now 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. One, 2, 3. Okay, you can see what it's doing. It's creating an opposite wave the other side. So you start with a higher stitch and reduce accordingly. Now you are going to make 2 half double crochets and then 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. You'll just keep repeating this pattern and it will eventually connect itself. And then 3 treble crochets in the next 3 stitches. You can see down here we have a single crochet. Okay, so we'll put 3 treble crochets in the next 3 stitches. Like that. Then 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. That is 1, 2. Then half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Repeat again, 2 single crochets. Honestly, sorry about the noise, I can't really help it, and I can't also just wait it out because I might not put tutorials for you here if I wait it out. So just pardon me if it becomes unbearable. I'm not doing it purposely. Thank you. Then 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, and then end this row with 2 treble crochets. So this is how I want to end my row. Instead of going in the back loop, I'll go in these 2 stitches, and that's how we will be ending our row. Okay, this is row 3. So you can see you started the pattern with 2 treble crochets and ended with 2 treble crochets. Meanwhile, in row 1, you started the pattern with 2 single crochets and ended with 2 single crochets at the end. And row 4 is going to be a repeat of row 2. You make 28 half double crochets, and after that you make 12 single crochets. I'll meet you when we are going to start row 5, because after that you will now just be repeating row 2 and row 3 over and over again, while bearing in your mind that the pattern flows accordingly. Where you have a treble crochet, in the next row of waves will be a single crochet. Okay, you will not actually miss it out. This pattern is very easy as long as you just follow the sequence that you have there. Make sure your stitches are a multiple of 14. I'll meet you when we start row 5. I have made my 12 single crochets for the ribbing, and now we are going to repeat row 1 for row 5. Okay, so you see we had 2 treble crochets in row 3. Now in row 5, instead of having treble crochets, you are going to make 2 single crochets. You're basically repeating row 1 because you started with 2 single crochets, and then proceed to make half double crochet, double crochet. You are going to end row 5 with 2 single crochets, and then you make your 3 treble crochets, like that. Then start reducing 2 double crochets, then 2 half double crochets, then 2 single crochets. You'll repeat this up to the end of this row, and you'll end this row with 2 single crochets, just like how you started this pattern. When you see that the sequence is not flowing very well, then you have missed a stitch somewhere, you might have to go back, check where the mistake is, and correct. Now I'm left with 2 stitches, which is going to be 2 single crochets in those last 2 stitches. So this is how I end my row. I go in all these 2 stitches like that, and then make a single crochet. As simple as that. And at this point you are able to see how your pattern is coming up, and this is how it looks like from the back side. Okay, now you will repeat row 2, row 3, and row 5 over and over again. Remember, if your row of waves started with a single crochet, and then the next row of wave is going to start with a treble crochet, bear in mind that where there is a single crochet in the next row is going to be a treble crochet accordingly. Make sure this can wrap all round. Okay, I'm going to continue crocheting until it can totally wrap my hands here. I have 28 number of rows here, so this is already row 1 2 3 4 5. I will continue crocheting until I obtain my 28 number of rows, and then meet you here for the final part. Catch you until then. I am done with making my 28 rows. This is how it looks like from inside, and then this is the outside. You can see the alignment of the pattern. I like how it flows. So this wraps on my fingers. When I place my fingers like this, okay, it wraps just very well. It's looking like this for nothing, but when I join, eventually things are going to flow in place like that. Okay, so the next part is for us to join this side. I started with a row of waves, I ended with a row of half double crochets. Ensure that you also end with a row of half double crochets, so that when you join this, things are flowing accordingly. Is that all right? Joining will depend on you. You want to join in that all this is covered inside, and then your thumb is out, meaning you will slip stitch up to a point here, leave this out, and then continue to slip stitch the rest of this. That's where a stitch marker comes in. You place this in your hands, or as you make a slip stitch, you are going to know where to stop. But what I did for myself, I just slip stitch and stopped at a certain point to see how it fits in my hand, and then after that I left an opening for my thumb and then proceeded to slip stitch the rest of the part. Even if you don't have a stitch marker, I'm sure it's not much of a big deal. So for us to start joining this side, this is what you're going to do. You are going to chain 1 and then fold this like that, okay? You are going to go on top of this stitch here, and then the other side. I don't know if you can get the other side, but I'm just going to go in this one, and then I slip stitch. Make sure that the slip stitches are not too tight, okay? Because slip stitching kind of tend to shrink the work like that. So the next, what you will do, you will now pick the back loops of every stitch. You come in this back loop here, and then come in this other side here, pick this one. Is that the first stitch? Yeah, pick this stitch and then slip stitch like that. Come in this other side, this side, and slip stitch. Yep. So we'll slip this side until we reach in this corner of our thumb. I'm going to meet you when I'm at that place so that we can create a space for our thumb to stick out like that. No. You see, it's a bit really tricky to slip stitch. You just need to be very careful. At the end of the day, when you crochet, you're able to spot where the mistake is coming from. Just going to go in this like that and slip stitch, because I want to have a neat slip stitching like that. So I'll meet you when I'm at that point where we will have to create a space for our thumb to stick out like that. Okay, back loop of this, and then this other side, and slip stitch. Don't make it too tight, okay? This is how your slip stitch will look like. This is how my slip stitches looked like. In the end, it just blended in. So catch you when we are at this point to create this opening, which you're seeing here for our thumb to stick out. I'm at that point where now I need to create an opening for my thumb, and you see when you put this on, you are able to tell, because if you just slip stitch without wearing this, figuring out where your thumb will come out, it's not going to make any sense. You need to be a little bit practical to keep fitting this and see where to create the opening for yourself. Now this is just okay for me. This is okay for me. This is where I will stop. And then the opening also depends on how tight or loose I want it to be, and I don't need it to be too tight. So for me, they were like 8 stitches which I left out unstitched, and then proceeded to slip stitch the rest of this. So yeah, this is it. You can see here this opening, I have 8 stitches unstitched. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then proceeded to slip stitch the remaining 7 number of stitches. So this is what I did to get to the other side. I counted 8 stitches. That was after determining the opening for my thumb. I went in the back loops and slip stitch 8 times. This is what I did. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. This prevented me from cutting out my yarn and then reattaching it just to slip stitch the rest of this side. And then I counted 8 stitches on the other side. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. Okay, and then I slip stitch in the remaining number of stitches. Do the same for yourself. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. It might not necessarily be like mine, it might be less or more. So after counting your 8 number of stitches, you're going to slip stitch in the next stitch. I raised this up to help me know where to slip stitch next. So you are going to go in this stitch and then the other stitch there and slip stitch. Just go about slip stitching up to the end of this row. Something is not adding up. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I don't know, something is not adding up. But either way, when you have figured it out, you have to determine how to close the rest of that. Something is not adding up. I'm going to go off camera, frog this, and then meet you right back again to join the remaining part. But if you have figured out for yourself, just go ahead and join the part. I'll meet you when I'm done. Crocheting is something which you should be very practical about, because there are some moments where you find yourself frogging, and it's normal. Okay, no hard feelings, it's really normal to do that. Now since I know that my stitches were not aligning properly, I'm going to count 2 4 6 7 2 4 6 7 with a stitch marker, because there were 8 openings for mine, and then I count 2 4 6 8, 2 4 6 and 8. You see, like that. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. Like that, so that when I slip stitch, I am again not missing out on my number of stitches. Just like that. I'm not perfect, and I don't want to hide out what goes on with my crocheting. I want to be as practical as I can be. Nothing to hide. Catch you when I'm in this point. Things are now aligning very well. Okay, so now you slip stitch the remaining number of stitches like that. Like that. This is going to be my last tutorial for November, and hopefully if I have something up for next Wednesday, which is 3rd December, I will be grateful, because my birthday is on 2nd December, and I had planned to make me a Christmas sweater, which will double as my birthday present, but I have not even started on it. So let's see what next Wednesday, which is 3rd of December, holds for us. Otherwise, 2nd December is gonna be my birthday, and I can't wait. So when you are done slip stitching, you just single crochet and then cut out your yarn like that. Pull it out like that, like that. Now the next part for you is just to hide out the tail of this yarn, because you have literally just finished making your fingerless glove. This is a very beginner friendly tutorial and it's very fast to work. If you're not doing anything in between and you're a fast crocheter, you can make this in under 2 hours. Just, you know, like that. Do the same for this other side. And cut it out. So this is your fingerless glove. You make another part which is identical, okay? And with this you have literally come to the end of your tutorial, and this is how your fingerless glove looks like. I could make a beanie, but I'm not so sure. Either way, you can make a matching beanie or a matching shower for this and you are good to go. With this, we have come to the end of this tutorial. Leave a comment or a suggestion for me. I'd really appreciate that so much. If you follow me on my social media handles, thank you. But if you want to follow me, you can always find my social media handles in the description box below. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell so that you'll be alerted of every video that I upload on this channel. Okay, it was fun staying with you people here on my channel today. Catch you again in my next video. Bye.